Chat, you want to know the one thing that Withering Wave has that makes it hard to get back to Genshin? It keeps momentum when you stop gliding, instead of just dropping straight down. Like, when you do this, you keep going forward slightly. Good story? No, it does not. It does not have that. One of the main reasons why Genshin is as popular as it is because it appealed to free-to-play players early on. You also have to keep in mind, right? If they thought that Xiangling was too strong, they could just make units stronger than her. Until she was invalidated. They don't. You know? A large portion of the reason why Genshin became so popular is because it transcended gacha game markets and reached casual players and gamers. And yeah, I cringe just as much as you do saying the word gamers, but like, I don't really have a better word to describe this subset of people. It appealed to gamers. And the reality is, the more popular your game is, with the more different types of demographics, the more it's going to be popular with those demographics. Because people will talk about it more. People will make art about it more. People will make videos about it more. Right? Gamers will introduce Genshin to their casual friends. Casual players will introduce Genshin to their gamer friends. It's one of the ways that games gain popularity. And Xiangling's effect on Genshin's popularity has been the retention of more, you know, try-hard people.
Mortals fear lightning.
The sort of people that like min-maxing shit. And don't like it when a game is pay to win. And the effect of all of those factors combined is very easy to see. Genshin is an incredibly profitable game. And it's hard for me to be like, oh yeah, no, Xiangling was a mistake, when it seems so obvious to me that Xiangling being as strong as she is was a good decision. It definitely is part of why Genshin became as popular as it is. What part of Genshin made you keep playing? I mean, I've talked about this many times before, but like, the best part of Genshin to me has always been the combat system. I started playing because it was kind of like Breath of the Wild. And I was like, yeah, I like Breath of the Wild, that was a fun game. But I kept playing because it was really fun figuring out the fucking combat system. It's a very well-designed combat system, in my opinion. Did you feel the same when Dendro got released? That's a complicated question. Because I think in some ways Genshin was great for, or Dendro was great for the game, and in others it wasn't. I think Dendro was released in a state where it was too strong. I don't think a reaction like Hyperbloom should be as strong as it is. And I think it kind of limits their design ideas. And it's making it so that if they want units to be as appealing as Dendro units, they have to make them either significantly stronger or as easy to play as Hyperbloom. Right? Because Hyperbloom is incredibly easy to play. And I think that the amount of damage that it does for how easy to play it is makes it difficult from a balance perspective to design new stuff. Because why would you play a unit that's worse and harder to play? You know? Like, theory crafting Dendro teams is really fun. But there's only so much theory crafting before, you know, you've run out of things to look at. And, I don't know, I just think that if Hyperloom did, like, 20% less damage, it would be a lot more healthy for the game. It would still be really good. Yeah, it would still be really good. I'm not saying it should be bad. I'm saying it's a bit too good. What do you hope for Arlechinno and Chlorinde? Interesting things. Like, I don't care about good as much as I care about interesting, right? Like, I didn't go for Alhaitham, but I went for Daya. That should tell you all you need to know, okay? I just want it to be interesting. You never play her? That's not true. Daya's unironically one of my most played units. I've been playing a lot of Xiao recently because, you know, lament. But pre-Xiangling, I play Daya very often. I'm gonna try to get the signature weapon or not? No. Signature weapons are... If a character sucks... Or if a character can't clear without their signature weapon, they just suck. I will say that's one nice thing about Genshin compared to a lot of other gacha games. The overall team DPS improvement you get from weapons is rarely that insane compared to the good free-to-play options. Thankfully, we have a 4-star key. No, we don't. The 4-star key is not real. Nevillet is good, but he's kind of boring to play. I agree. I like playing Plunge Nevillet. Can you explain how spread works? Malahitham can still proc spread on the Thunderbird even when it has a permanent Electro Aura? Sure. I like doing explanations. Those are cool. Enable Bloom? Suck my balls. So, usually, right? You apply Electro, you apply Dendro. Right, wow, you have this Dendro Archon. Dendro icon. But what does that actually mean? As you can see, if I do another charge shot, I now have a Dendro and an Electro icon. But if I do the same setup, and this time I do a charge attack, no Electro icon this time. So why? How does that work? What's going on here? Well, this Dendro icon that you see when I trigger Quicken is not actually a Dendro aura. This is a Quicken aura. And Quicken can coexist with other auras. It can coexist with an Electro aura, as is the case here, or it can coexist with a Dendro aura, but when that's happening, you don't see it because you already have the Dendro symbol. But you can know that there's a Dendro aura at the same time because if you hit it with Electro, it doesn't become an Electro aura. But if you hit it with Electro again, now it will. The way that this Quicken aura works is it gets generated anytime you trigger Quicken. But it doesn't necessarily consume all of the Electro or Dendro aura. For example, if I use Beto's E into Naida normal attack, there's still an underlying Electro aura for a little bit until it disappears. Because all that I did is I effectively I applied Dendro. I applied 1 unit of Dendro. And as such, I removed 1 unit of Electro. To create Quicken. And I have Quicken on the enemy. And whatever was left of the Electro is still going to be there. Now, against the Thunder Manifestation... it has an infinite amount of underlying Electro. And as such, I can trigger Quicken, and then keep triggering both Spread and Quicken. Because I trigger Spread because I'm hitting with Dendro on a Quicken aura. But I'm also triggering Quicken because I'm hitting with Dendro on an Electro aura. So every hit applies both Spread, or sorry, triggers, every Dendro application triggers both Spread and Quicken. Sometimes it doesn't show the text for both because there's internal cooldown on text showing up. But the reaction is still happening. But yeah, that's why you're getting spreads with a high thumb on the Thunder Manifestation. Only text ICD? Yeah. When I figured out there was... back in the old day, right? Back when we did theory crafting without data mines, and we had to figure everything out ourselves. Back in the day, figuring out these things like text ICD was like a revelation. It's like, wait, what? What? I don't know if you guys remember, for a short period of time, some people thought that Hu Tao's charge attack was given ICD. For like a couple days, people thought that. It was because of text ICD. It's because they were testing against the Animo Hypostasis, seeing how often they triggered Swirl, and they just looked at how often the text was showing up for Swirl. So some charge attacks weren't actually giving the Swirl text because of text ICD. This is Genshin theory crafting deep lore. Does this mean that every single word in existence is an Oppa reference? Bro.